Coming to you from the Ultra Staff Studios in Chicago, welcome to the Staffing Buzz Network with your host, Bob Petke. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Staffing Buzz Network. I am Bob Petke. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here for Ultra Staff Edge. We are a full-service front office, back office, ATS, CRM software solution for staffing companies all over the country. And, we're here today, and this is our fourth time out, to present the Staffing Buzz Network, which is an opportunity for us to share some vital information as it relates to the industry that we're all in and have grown to know and love. And, we're having valuable content and valuable speakers on here and guests. So I'm going to get right to it because today I'm excited to announce our guest. And our guest today, you may know him as the Staffing Shark, but I think his birth given name is Richard Rosner. Richard, how you doing, man?
Hey, Bobby, pretty good, brother.
Hey, I am so glad to have you here. And before I even dive into some content that we've got to discuss today, I want to welcome you here, and I want to congratulate you on your nomination to the Staffing Leaders to Watch in 2024 award.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, you know what? It's not about me. It's about you guys. I would never have that award or that nominee without, people like yourself support me, man.
Okay. So that's super cool. But here I'm going to give you a chance to talk about it a little bit. Can you tell us, what is it about your nomination? How do you get chosen, and what does this mean for you?
It's actually your peers. You have so many peers that will nominate you, and they actually have to talk about you of some of your accomplishments the past year. So, and then they do a screening process, and they see if they get you the nomination. And then next week they select I believe the top 100, and then we go from there. I won it in 2022, so we'll see what happens this year.
All right. So you're a repeat, for lack of a better word, offender or member, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Shark, how do people who know you and love you, how do they vote for this?
Just get on the link there. It's on LinkedIn. It's on Facebook. There's a link right there, or you can go to World Staffing, Summit, and you'll see my name there. So there's links everywhere, and I can share it in the comment too.
No, that'd be great. Yeah. And we wish you the best of luck. And yeah, tremendous.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely. As we get started, and I like to ask these questions just about everybody I've had on. We're such a close-knit community in staffing, right? A fraternal order of staffing. And, I'm interested to know, how did you get started in staffing?
It's a great story. How long do you have? Seriously. So I used to be a probation officer for 10 years, Bob, for the state of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you straight up, one day I said, I'm done. And I got up and packed my stuff up and decided to move to Pittsburgh, and had this sales recruiter that called me out and said, hey, do you want to sell like voice over IP phone systems? Met with him, and he's like, dude, kid, I love you. And it's almost like a Rocky Balboa story. He's like, would you rather go to New York City and help me in staffing and house the subway system for a year? And he's like in his 60s. He said, you listen to everything I say and you'll be a rock star. This was in 2014. Okay. 10 years later, here I am.
No, it's funny. And we're 4 for 4. I've asked this question with everybody that I know that's been in staffing, and nobody ever came out of high school and said, you know what? I want to grow up and be a recruiter, or I want to go up and sell staffing. Again, people are recognizing your skills, and you went for something totally different. And that's what I'm saying is oftentimes, you don't choose staffing. Staffing somehow, some way chooses you. So again, 4 for 4. We're gonna have to keep that statistic and see how that transpires. So, so you've been in it since 2014. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes since you've got in. Shark, tell us what's kept you in the industry.
Lifestyle. I'm going to tell you straight up, this is not a job. This is a lifestyle. I eat and sleep it for the last 10 years. I cannot pick anything else. When it picked me, I was embracing and said, this is where I'm going to finished my career at, in staffing. So I just freaking love it. I mean, every day is so much fun. I mean, if you've seen some of the content I put out there during the holidays, I'm out there at the wineries. I'm recruiting everybody there to get jobs with me. They're my network. So it's like, I go to 5 different places. I get 70 different people on my LinkedIn now. So I never stop on the hunt. It's all about having fun, Bob.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And again, it's not for everybody. It'll get you out if you can't handle it. And it's definitely, there is a lifestyle and it takes a unique person. So, when you talk to somebody who's been in it for more than a few minutes, you know that you're dealing with a quality type person who has the right work ethic and, knows what it takes to get things done. Again, talking a little about that as we start to go more into some of the content for today. 2014, you come in, you come into a certain world that doesn't look anything like it does today. Obvious things have happened, right, as far as COVID, and really, I'm just trying to get further and further beyond that as we, move our way in that direction. But tell me, what are some significant things that you've noticed from that time, 2014, to how we go about our business to today?
I think it's big on automation. I think the human connection, we lost that. In 2014, we used the human connection more and more and more. I think we lost that. And then now we're getting it back. So that's a big change.
Okay. So, in your role in staffing, you're driving business and I'm sure you've done some recruiting and things of that nature. Why would you say that people in your career buy from you?
It's me. It's the high energy, the trust. I don't talk about staffing or jobs to anybody. In the beginning, the first 2 minutes, it's a coffee chat or beer chat. That is what I tell every recruiter. Don't pressure nobody. Let's just keep it real.
No, I think that's a big part of it, right? And it's that whole relationship. It's that whole not selling to anybody. And it's, at the end of the day, who do people really buy from? People buy from people they like and people that they trust. And I don't know if there's any better way than to just build a real, genuine, common rapport with somebody, to get you to that level. Because, you're going to get to a point where, you're going to be competing with somebody else, and all things equal. If your service offerings and your pricing and everything and anything else that goes with it is equal, it's going to be the individual behind it. And it's usually what, it's what gets the whole thing started, from the get-go is having that tremendous relationship. We've both been in this industry now, for some time. You're 10 plus years, and I'm 16 plus years myself. Social media, such a big deal right now. What are some things that you are seeing from that you think that the staffing community could benefit from, or what are some things they should be doing to drive their business?
So how long do you have? Once again, here we go. Social media and staffing is not where it needs to be. I think you need to follow everybody else's steps. Our industry is so behind when it comes to that, because I'm going to be honest with you, Bob, so many people live on LinkedIn. I always say LinkedIn's great, but there's other platforms. I use everyone, the X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, Meetup. I'm on like 15 different platforms. Guess what? Of all them platforms, that's where my candidate base comes from. It doesn't come from just one source. And I think in our industry, we rely on just one or two, but they don't know what content's about. That's the thing that I love and thrive on is content. You can't put an ad out there and saying, I have 10 jobs, come and visit me. That shit doesn't work anymore. I'm going to tell you anymore. It's about being creative. I do weather reports on Facebook. I'm getting so many applicants and just leverage from that, sitting out there in the cold and talking for 30 seconds as a meteorologist, having fun with slipping and sliding in the snow. That stuff with your logo on it, people love that stuff. Be creative.
You bring up a good point, because you started to talk about these other things and how you get candidates. So you're not just a staffing shark. I mean, you're forever the shark from this point forward, in sickness and in health, right? So with that said, there's other things. This is not just what you do. I mean, the staffing shark goes to work and does other things in the industry. Talk to us about that a little bit. We talked about it offline. I think people want to know.
It's all about the community. I always say that the big thing for me is if you want to generate business and what you do, I tap into the community. So I'll go into a coffee shop, I'll interview them, try their coffee, put my logo on it, share it. Guess what? They shared on their site. Before you know it, I got 50,000 people looking at me. The whole community knows who I am. Seriously, Bob, you come down here in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, people just roll up to me and they say, hey, Shark, nobody cares about my real name. That's when you start building your brand. Because I tell anybody out there, Nike and the rest of them, do they buy the shoe or do they buy the brand? It's all about the swoosh. If you can have that brand and staffing, you're set for life.
Yeah. With that said, are you, tell me about when you're interacting with staffing, people, and, maybe they bring you in, or maybe, I don't know. Are you ever doing any kind of consulting work with them? Talk about that.
Yeah, it's called Recruiter Rescue. So it's almost like the bar rescue, but it's the Recruiter Rescue. I know you're screaming, yell, and cuss. We get in there the first night. We go out for some drinks, food. I'm there for a week. I build the culture with them. So here's what happens is when you go into a staffing firm, some of the people in sales might hate their job, but they're just in it. Some people in recruiting might hate their job and want to be in sales. I plug and play just like a football coach and find the best position for them. And then you know what? I feed them out. There's no scripts. We don't do scripts anymore and stuff like that. We're talking to this client. Are you asking for a referral? You don't have to even ask for money. Just ask them for their family and they'll send them to you. So I think in the week that I'm there and then continuously for the next 6 months, it's all about building that culture, going in and transforming the whole thing. One thing I love to say is, you come in, I want to get a Pac-Man machine. I want to get some loud music playing. I tell people that we want to build a culture here, not cubicles, get rid of all that stuff. Open air space. Let's have some fun with it. And the candidates will come. And guess what? When the candidates come, they're going to go home and talk to their friends. Before you know it, you're going to have this whole group of fan base in your area that loves you.
Yeah. These things, Shark, that you're mentioning, the fact that you're rolling up your sleeves, you're out there in the, in the field, in the trenches, right? Because that's what it is. It's there's some warfare. And again, I don't mean to placate to the word warfare and downplay that, but nevertheless, it's a battle. And I think that's what brings even more credibility to your podcast. Not only are you somebody who's been removed and doesn't do staffing anymore, but come Monday, there's a good chance you're sitting up in an office with somebody and talking strategy, and that goes a long way. With that in mind, I want to talk about the podcast, and I want to talk about how did you get started with it?
Just one day I decided I want to be something different about 4 years ago. So I jumped in before the big, craze is right now. And I wanted to spread everybody else's knowledge out there. If you notice anything I do on mine, Bob, it's not about me. It's about them. It's about putting everybody else out there. And I'm pretty much one of the only people in recruiting that actually is on the other side that's doing a podcast and not like pushing any product or anything. I just want to sample everybody's stuff and push it out there for them. And it's been a blast for the last 4 years. We're on 91 episodes with the Recruiters with No Limits. We got so much other stuff going on that we can talk about a little bit if you want. I mean, I'm taking this to the next level, this media, because I have a vision of what the industry should be like. And we're just getting into it with the podcasting, which I always say every staffing firm should have some kind of live content out there every day or every week at least.
No, I mean, we're out here in part. I mean, the reason why we're here on the Staffing Buzz Network is, we saw what you did, and it's a good concept. And really, although, we are an ATS CRM company, we've got folks here that have, dozens and dozens of years in the industry. And, if we can help our clients, in some way, shape, or form by having folks like you on or anybody else, or if new people are curious, that is our spot, right? We'd love to be able to entertain those things. But yeah, you did talk about you've got some other content and some other things that you're working on, and this is your platform, man. You're probably used to being on this side of it. So
Big time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, your answers are kind of shorter than I would expect, but I think it's because you're on this side of it. All good. But talk about some of the content, some of the things that you've got coming up.
Okay, so some of the stuff I got going on is a little bit of media stuff. I don't want to really get into it a lot, but we're going to have a lot more lives. That's all I have to say, because I thrive on live. Staffing is live. We should do everything live. That's just me. That's where I got my trademark at, is I don't record anything. I do everything freaking live. So if you go to the bathroom, get up and go. But the content I'm bringing is going to be, it's going to be exciting. Some of the different podcasts we're going to be bringing on the media channel is actually going to be Untapped, which we're going to tap into like smaller staffing firms that never get their name out there. Yeah. I'm going on the streets to find you all. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to go and talk to customers, clients on the street. There's going to be more interactive on the streets instead of the studio, but it's going to take off, and I can't wait. We got so many supporters right now and sponsorships that I'm excited to launch it this spring.
So something different, in addition to your podcast, in addition to your other stuff. So you're talking about another offering, right? Am I reading that right?
100%. And guess what? It's all for everybody else. Everybody else is going to enjoy this. Everybody's welcome on it. So this is not about me. This is about everybody else. So this is going to be, everybody else is going to get involved in this, Bob, which is exciting. Even yourself, man.
No, I know what you're saying. Looking forward to it. I'll keep it at that. Who's your target audience on these podcasts?
I think my audience is pretty much anybody as a recruiter or a staffing owner or technology. I do reviews with technology, just like yourself. I bring them on. I want to get a teaser. I want to get the audience to get pumped up about it. So pretty much my audience is the HR. It's a wide spectrum of people in the staffing, recruiting, HR industry. There's not just one little segment. We're going to talk about the recruiters. We're going to go and hit everybody on different shows. And I take a poll. So I have a lot of different people asking for this content. So I'm trying to produce as much creative content for them as I can.
So, you're talking to people every day, every week.
Oh, every day, brother, every day.
And, it's we've talked about it. It's if staffing were easy, anybody could do it. It's not. It takes a unique person. What are some of the things you're seeing today currently where people are being challenged or have a struggle? What are some of the common things that no matter who you talk to, at some point, it might come up as far as a challenge?
I think the big thing is recruiting and sales right now. We'll start with recruiting. I don't think the recruiters that I talk to and deal with, they know how to recruit anymore. And I'm going to be frank about that. They're so used to the job boards or after the pandemic. I mean, it was so easy. Just the fish are there. Just go grab them all. Now you actually have to have a conversation. You actually have to do homework. You actually have to recruit them, which I say, you're going to laugh at this. I don't recruit anybody. I'm your job agent. I represent you. And when you say that simple word like that, I represent you, Bob, you won't believe how many people in their phone. I look at it. It says Shark job agent. And then even on voicemails, they'll say, Shark, you got another bite. I never met this person. This could be an engineer, a nurse, or light industrial. See, so they see the vibe of me on social platforms, and then they throw that vibe right back at me. So I'm hooking them right in. I think that's what the recruiters have to do in 2024. Just calling up and saying, I have a job for you, and I'm going to force you to take that job is not cutting it. One thing that I see on the streets that I'll give everybody is service. Please service your candidates and clients. I'm not going to say any names, but we got 5 staffing firms right around me, and every one of them, every candidate I talk to says, I call them, they don't answer their phones, they don't service me. There's a number one downfall. So if you can change that in 2024, you're going to rock it out.
Yeah, I mean, the day of recruiters, and the term we used to use is they were order takers, right? Yeah. And they had an inventory of people, a plethora, a pool of candidates that they could go ahead. And if they didn't have one that would work out, there was somebody else in line to do it. With that unemployment rate, the participation rate is, I think we're at like 62% participation rate. So there are folks right now that aren't working. However, they're doing it. I think people would like to know. But, so we're working with a smaller segmented group of people that are looking for jobs and servicing them and showing them that they're valuable. And not treating them like a piece of meat, right? As as somebody with a personality, as somebody who's got a heart, and showing them that you care and you have compassion for them. Yeah, these are good things.
I mean, what it comes down to, real quick, Bob, is tap into the social media with them. Every person that gets hired by me, 98% are on my Facebook or LinkedIn friend. Bottom line. There's my database right there after 5 years of 1,500 people. I tell everybody, if I can give you any tip, add them to your Facebook. And so many people, Bob, I'm going to tell you this, say, well, my Facebook is my personal, that I don't want that. Dude, we're in the people business. I'm going to tell you, open that up to everybody and tell me what happens next year. I guarantee you're going to have a big smile on your face.
Yeah. Shark, what about people, you mentioned on the recruiting side, what about people that are trying to drive new business, but they're having a hard time landing clients? What are you seeing are some of the reasons for that?
Well, I don't think they're looking in the right places. First off is, okay, you have 5 staffing firms around you. Look at their job boards, hunt them down, because them are easy, low-hanging fruit. Most of the time, here I go back, every staffing firm that's in there, and I go in and say, I'm the Shark, can I help you out? They actually said, can you service me? And I'm like, can I service you? Shit, yeah, I can service you. And they're like, how can you? I say, here's my cell phone number. Call me on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, text me. And if I text you back within 5 minutes, let's sign a contract. Did it 10 times last year. People's like, dude, you respond back on the weekends? Oh yeah. Simple things like that. I think associations. I'm involved in the manufacturing association in my area. Guess how many staffing firms are in there? Myself. Wow. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm shooting bullets. Boom, right there. I'm pulling everybody. I think the big thing of getting on the list and the Zoom infos and all that stuff, that's great. But everybody else is doing the same thing. Tap into the things around you, the resources. And I'm telling you, sales is so easy. I did 38 clients in 18 months and only one in person, all over the phone. So if anybody ever needs help with sales, I'm your man. I mean, I can get it done for you. But I think at the end of the day, you can't just call them up and say, hey, I got staffing for you. You got to go deeper than that. You got to bring a reason why they should work with you.
You'd mentioned early on about scripts, thing of the past, right? And personality and relationships are part of that. How or what do you do when you work with somebody and that's all they know? I mean, how do you break that down for them to get them to understand it's a new world order when it comes to driving business? How do you tell someone their baby's ugly, in other words, and let them know that they're doing things the wrong way? I mean, what's your message on that?
I think it's lead by example. So anytime I go in, I'm doing the sales basically in the beginning. I'm doing the recruiting sometimes. I'm on the phone with them. I can never script anything, Bob. You see what comes out of my mouth. I don't even know what I'm going to say the next 5 seconds. So it's like, how would I script something? And they're like, their tone of voice changes. I said, your voice has to go up, down, just like a singer. Bring it up and down with the harmony. And they're like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I said, people on the other line, they're looking for a job. So they're stressed out. Entertain them with your voice. And they can hear that passion in your voice. The script, you're just monotone, one level, because you just want to get through the whole thing. You're thinking too much instead of just going with the flow. And it works 99% of the time.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Say you call on 10 clients, right? And, there's a conversion rate where it takes you X amount of touches before they'll even entertain maybe a discovery session. What are you seeing as far as your hit rate to getting a meeting to somebody, as opposed to, like, out of 10, what do you think is a good success rate to have a discovery meeting with somebody?
I would say 5 to 7 touches. Here's what I always say. The best thing is to take a day and build your own list. I build all my own lists, dude. I'm like the playbook. My playbook is my playbook. When you call a company, guess what? If that admin's in the beginning, they're going to give you the key person. They're going to give you and ask for the email. Don't be scared to ask for the direct, all that stuff. Yeah. You jot that down. You get 20 companies. If you can't close 10 of them in 6 months, you're doing something wrong. And they're using staffing. Go after the low-hanging fruit and then go for the ones that never used staffing or did and got burnt. And you can tell them why you're better, and it works all the time. These simple things that we're not using anymore, I'm going back to the basic books, just like the Bill Belichick, I call it,
Okay,
and boom,
yeah.
and it's rocking out, man.
How do you stay organized while you're doing all this?
Oh, how don't I? No, 5 laptops going and all that stuff. No, I have everything in different lanes. I have 5 different tablets. I still write stuff down. I put stuff online. I have different multiple levels. I know when I go into my day that I'm disciplined to do the same things I do with the gym, the food, everything like that. That's how I organize my day. Naturally, in staffing, our days go up and down. We're riding away because once we think it's going to go smooth, something might happen. Somebody might get injured or something like that. That's okay. You just regroup yourself. But I think as long as you have fulfillment every day, and here we go, motivational stuff I keep talking about. Yeah. Fulfill your fulfillment every day. The next day you get up and start again. if I can give any tips out there, anybody out there, seriously, you never lose. You never lose an order. You never lose a candidate. You can just refocus. Oh, I didn't get that contract. Till you ink that up, you didn't lose anything. Everybody's like, oh, I lost that. Till they say blank you're still in the game. And I've had that before. Like, I'm not using them. Guess what? That's okay. And they're like, why he didn't push at me? Here's my information. Guess what? 5 months later, them other 2 staffing firms didn't work out. Shark, we're ready for you. I'm embracing with open arms. Here we go.
Nice. Well, instead of having all these laptops open, I've got a tool called Ultra Staff Edge we need to talk to you about. It keeps you on task. It's a great CRM. It even has a daily planner. We could talk about that offline, but yeah, so that's a good, good example of just staying on task, because, you can do all this great stuff, but if you don't know what you're going to do next and when you're going to do it, you're in trouble.
Exactly. And follow up all your emails. I mean, I'm following up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and even with yourself, like, I always say that, like, even if it's a LinkedIn, follow up with people, because if you let it go longer and longer and longer, they're going to lose interest.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, kind of heading into a conclusion here, but I'm interested to know. So let's take a moment in time. We're in January of 2024, and we've got the whole world ahead of us, and we've got an election year, and there's just so many things going on in our world. But the true constant is the fact that people make things, people move things, and they're going to need people to fill those jobs. With that being said, if I'm going to ask you for maybe a crystal ball or a forecast of some sort, but what are like 1 or 2 things, 2 ideas, 2 nuggets or pieces of information that you can share with our Staffing Buzz Network community today that a year later, they're going to go back and say, man, I want to thank the Shark for that, because he was right. And we did these things, or this information was vital, and we're better for it. So this is kind of your chance to, put on your forecasting hat or whatever it might be, just 2 pieces of information at most that you think are going to help our community to perform better this year.
One is, and this is no endorsement, but I think voice AI is big in 2024 for you to scrub your database. I don't care if you're in healthcare, light industrial. I know Converse AI is out there. There's other ones too, but I think a voice AI, if you're ever going to invest in anything right now, that thing for 15 to 20 minutes will talk at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, there is people looking for jobs at 4 a.m. Trust me. So instead of your office closed till 8 o'clock in the morning, you can get the script. They can do everything there. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, that is the wave of the future for 2024. Second one, you know what? It's social media. You got to be on media. You got to show your face over and over again. And I'm the firm believer of this, 100%. You know how many times I get on a call or something like that, and they're like, Shark, I see you everywhere. If I can be everywhere and only create the Staffing Shark in 4 years and be like, and people in the other countries know who I am, you can do the same thing. You don't have to do it at a magnetized level like me, but you got to be on social media. You got to be on all platforms. You got to know how to organize that. There's so many different programs out there that can send you to stuff. I mean, Bob, I got stuff ready for St. Patty's Day. I just hit a button, it goes, so, yeah. But you got to be out there on social media. And I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of staffing firms are still behind times. They're still like, do I want to really do this? You got to. Yeah. It's either, if you don't, you're going to get lost and behind.
Yeah. No, our marketing person here, our director, Jennifer Roselmeyer, she just published an article this week on AI and how, you better get used to it. You better get used to the term, the definition, and everything in between. And so folks, you can find that on our LinkedIn page, but it's well worth the read. And it's just kind of just double clicking on your comment on that. And I think both of those are really, I can, we could even plan a year from today to get together and see how, if somebody maybe implemented that, how it changed their business. Cause it will, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, man, hey, this was great. And I'm hoping we can do this again. I know you and I are talking about doing some other things, collectively with some other folks. So, everyone be on the lookout for that. A little collaboration, something to get excited about. And what else you got in parting? Anything you want to add or share or point anybody to any direction at all? Because, we want to make sure you got a chance to, it's not every day you get a chance to plug yourself. This is your shot.
Plug myself. Well, I think I do it every day. But no, all joking aside, if you guys ever need any help, Recruiter Rescue, there's other programs from trainings to coming on my podcast, just anything in general, you can find me. LinkedIn, everything's at Staffing Shark. Just find me on there. Reach out to me. Just type in, "Hey, Shark, I want to chat with you." I'll mentor you. Anything on that end. I'm all about helping everybody like I always do. And we're all a team at the end. And I think that's the biggest thing. But if I can give any tips on 2024, don't give up. It's going to be a freaking wave. We're going to ride this surfboard together, man. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be exciting. Yeah, you might fall off. Just get back on. And guess what? You always have the shark there. My hand's out to you. Grab it and let's embrace it and have some fun this year.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Until next time, thanks for being part of the Staffing Buzz Network today.
You're welcome, brother. Take care, man. See y'all later.
Yep. Well, there you have it. Richard Rosner, the Staffing Shark, and a nominee for one of the top people in 2024. So make sure you look at his LinkedIn page and vote for him. With that said, I just want to thank everybody who's been listening. We're getting good feedback from folks that are tuning in. And just make sure that you're sharing this information with your staffing friends. Have them join us on whatever their favorite platform might be. You can get to our links through YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. These are all great places and spaces to find us. And as far as, and I talked a little bit about it in our episode here today, learning more about Ultra Staff Edge, our ATS CRM software solution. Take me up on this offer. We can do a demonstration, show you how it looks, and you can get my contact information on our exit page here as we end our show. But find me, call me, and let's talk. So until next time, everybody, thanks for being on the Staffing Buzz Network with me.